They opened for the Beatles and then split within months. Another hit #1 with a toy sitar hook and vanished. Tonight we're counting down 15 forgotten 60s rock bands that rocked hard, then disappeared. One signature track each, 0 repeats, no household names, just lightning in a bottle moments. If you only know the big legends, get ready to meet the Ghost in the Grooves, Boston's Remains, Cleveland's Outsiders, fuzz-fueled Count 5, proto-punk Music Machine, and more. For each band, the song that shook radio, the brief blaze of glory, and why it all faded. Quick rules, 1 band per slot, 1 definitive track, short initial run or swift fall off. They made noise, then the trail goes cold. Drop your own deep cut in the comments. I read them all. And if you love lost rock history, hit subscribe so you never miss the next dive. All right, needle down, volume up. 15 to 11 starts now. Boston had a real contender. The Remains were tight, sharp-dressed, and frighteningly professional for a bunch of college kids. They toured ballrooms and TV shows, then landed the kind of break every band dreams of, opening for the Beatles in '66. But here's the twist. Instead of a rocket launch, it was the end of the line. Don't Look Back is a perfect snapshot of what they did best. Lean guitar, urgent vocal, a drummer who plays like he's chasing the song down an alley. You can feel the hunger and the nerves in every bar. If you listen closely, the arrangement is ruthless. No fluff, just hooks and motion.
One thing I wanna say. People got some strange ideas on how life.
Why didn't it stick? Timing, label support, and life pulling members in different directions after the tour. Legacy-wise, they became a crate digger's secret handshake, one of those "how did this not blow up" bands. Question, when you hear Don't Look Back, do you hear a support act or a headliner that never got the shot?
Hey, rock lore community. Before we continue, let's have a real talk for a second, bro. You know, this isn't just a channel to us. And I hope it's not just a place you come to watch a video and then forget about it. This is a community. It's a place where we get to dig up the secrets of rock and roll, share our favorite riffs, and celebrate the artists who maybe didn't get the love they deserved. Right now, only about 1% of our viewers are subscribed. We can change that together and grow this community. All you have to do is hit that subscribe button with the notification bell on. When you do, you're not just helping a channel grow, you're becoming a member of the Rocklore family. You're signaling to us and to YouTube that these stories matter, that this music is worth preserving, and that this community is a place you want to be. Subscribing is your way of making sure you're always in the loop. It means you'll be the first to know when we unearth a forgotten legend, drop a new countdown, or dive into a piece of rock history you've never heard before. So if you're a true fan of the lore, if you get that same feeling of discovery that I do, then come join us. It takes 1 second to be a part of something bigger.
One minute of pure teenage mischief. That falsetto yelp at the top is a prank siren. The whole record feels like a dare. Liar, Liar is Minnesota garage at maximum wink, reverb guitar, hand claps, a bass that dances more than it walks. It hit the national charts, the band wrote a wave of TV appearances, and then, like a magic trick, poof. Part of the charm is how homemade it sounds. You can almost see 6 kids in a basement laughing between takes. The song's power is in how little it needs. A chant, a groove, a smirk. The follow-ups didn't stick, and regional glory didn't translate to a long career. But for 2 minutes, the Castaways nailed the garage rock mission. Be loud, be catchy, and get out before anyone can label you. Question, if you were producing Liar, Liar today, would you clean it up or keep all that delicious basement noise?
You thought you'd get away with going out on me. Yeah.
San Jose teenagers with one of the decade's coolest sneers. Little Girl is a masterclass in attitude, a taut riff, a vocal that sounds like it's chewing gum, and a drum pocket that keeps everything swaggering forward.
Other girls did it. You didn't think of nothing new.
There's a subtle sophistication under the garage grime, clever chord movement, and vocal phrasing that sticks long after the last cymbal hit. The band scored a serious national hit, played bigger rooms, and then the charts went cold.
You went out on me, so other girls did it too.
It's the arc we see again and again in the 60s. One great single, then internal turnover, label changes, and the scene shifts. But that one single left fingerprints on power pop and early punk. You can trace its DNA in bands who figured out that 3 minutes of style can change your life. Question, what's the hook for you? The snaky guitar line, or that smirking lead vocal that dares you to talk back?
Nobody but me. Everybody, nobody.
If you've ever shouted no, no, no with a beat, you've lived inside this record. Nobody But Me is a lesson in hypnotic simplicity, a 2-chord vamp, a drum pattern that never quits, and a call and response that turns your speakers into a pep rally. The Human Beinz caught lightning once, right place, right moment, then watched it slip. The song's real magic is arrangement discipline. The guitar is clipped and percussive, the vocal rides on top of the snare, and the breakdown is basically an invitation for a whole gym to join in. It's proto-party punk before anyone used the term. When the follow-ups didn't bite, the story closed fast, but this track never leaves radio. It's the kind of single DJs love: instant energy, instant grin. Question, be honest, did you learn the words first or the claps? And does any modern song do the chant along better?
Smart girl, and I'll believe what you say. But who are you?
Here's the most weight. Is this the Beatles? Moment of American 60s rock. Lies isn't just Beatles. It's a forensic copy that still feels original because of the band's precision.
Lies, lies, I can't believe a word you say.
The drum fill into the chorus, the snap of the rhythm guitar, the way the harmonies hit the downbeat like a trapdoor, all of it screams confidence. The Knickerbockers should have parlayed that craft into a long run, but the momentum stalled.
I'm gonna make you sad someday. Someday you're gonna be.
Label moves, personnel changes, the market's attention drifting. What's left is a single that proves imitation can be a creative act when the playing is this sharp. It also marks a fork in the road. US bands either doubled down on local flavors or chased British gloss and got lost in the crowd. Lies picked the latter, hit gold once, then faded. Question, if this dropped today with no backstory, would you call it retro worship or just a killer pop rock single that earns its place on any playlist? Black gloves, black clothes, and a sound that felt like a warning siren. The Music Machine, steered by songwriter-singer Sean Bonnewell, took garage rock and tightened every bolt. Talk is barely 2 minutes, but it never wastes a second. Clipped guitar stabs, a grinding organ that chews through the mix, and Bonnewell spitting syllables like they're hot coals. It's proto-punk before the word existed, minimal, mean, and impossible to ignore. The band had the image, the songs, and a leader with a plan. But the machinery around them, labels, management, radio politics, didn't line up. They scored their one big hit, then watched the moment slide away as the scene shifted. What survives is influence. Whenever a modern band goes dead simple and dead serious, you can hear a little talk in the DNA. Question, which hits you harder here? The staccato guitar attack or Bonnie Well's clipped vocal that sounds like he's cutting through chains? The fuzz pedal becomes a character in this record. Psychotic reaction starts like a normal garage single, then that harmonica and fuzz cyclone blows the doors off, and you're suddenly in a teenage rave up. The arrangement is clever, tight verses, then a breakdown that turns into a feedback-lit tunnel. It roared up the U.S. charts, put the San Jose Kids on national TV, and just as fast, the story cooled. Why? Some bands are built to be moments rather than careers. Count Five's moment was perfect, a blast of attitude, a hook you can chant, and a solo that sounds like the amp is coughing lava. They were done by the end of the decade, but this track never really left. Punk adopted it, alt-rock kept it alive, and every garage revival covers it. Question, if you were sequencing a modern playlist, where would you drop Psychotic Reaction? Right up front to kick the door in, or mid-set as the wild gear shift? They weren't from Boston, but they gave the city its snarling anthem. Dirty Water lopes in with that sneaky guitar riff and a rhythm section that feels like a bar brawl in slow motion. The Standells came out of the LA club circuit with real stage chops, and you can hear it. The vocal is half sung, half smirked. The drum fills are just sloppy enough to sound dangerous, and the whole track has that live wire swagger. It broke big and branded the band, but the bigger run never materialized beyond a handful of minor charters. Still, the legacy is everywhere. Ballparks, bars, and any guitar band trying to sound tough without going metal. Dirty Water taught a generation that attitude, groove, and one indelible riff can carry a song for life. Question, be honest, did you first hear this at a game, on the radio, or from an older friend who swore it was the real sound of the street?
This video is sponsored by the Lore Store on Amazon, your one-stop shop for music lovers across reggae, rock, pop, and hip-hop. We built it for real listeners who don't want to dig through 1,000 listings to find the right gear. Inside the Lore Store, you'll find 5 aisles. VIP, top, battle-tested essentials. Headphones, turntables, speakers, gig-safe earplugs, smart speakers. Reggae vibe, roots and lovers. Rock made easy, automatic decks, warm bookshelf speakers, vinyl care. Rock lore, classic rock must-haves, open back cans, simple amps, living room concert vibes. Pop lore, feel-good everyday setups, clean, clear speakers, easy streaming, nostalgia-friendly picks. Hip-hop must-haves, punchy bass without the muddle, closed-back headphones and living room systems that handle low-end, plus a rotating crate of old album vinyl if you're rebuilding a 60s-90s collection. Every product page tells you who it's for, 3 pros, 1 con, and why we picked it. So you can choose with confidence. Flying soon? Check. VIP for noise canceling that tames plane roar. Mostly listening at home? Try open-back headphones that let live albums breathe. Want instant gratification vinyl? Our fully automatic turntable is 1 button from silence to music, and the record cleaning kit knocks down crackle so the bass tightens up. Headed to shows? Grab high-fidelity earplugs, hands-free at home. Our smart speaker picks let you say, play 70s reggae or classic pop, and you're there. Deal alert. If you use the link in the description, you'll land on our curated picks with current best available Amazon pricing and active discounts where applicable. Prices change, so buy now to lock in today's deal. Tap the link in the description, pick your aisle, grab a favorite, and tell me which category you want me to build next. The Lore Store. Listen better, with gear that gets out of the way and lets the music live.
But you're pushing too hard on me.
Two chords, one obsession, and Sky Saxon's hypnotic stare pouring through your speakers. Pushing too hard shows how less can be more when the mood is right. The organ drones like a warning light, the guitar jabs instead of solos, and Saxon circles the same frustration until it becomes a trance. It wasn't a giant hit, but it became a cult cornerstone, psychedelic enough for the head shops, simple enough for garage bands to cover in one rehearsal. The Seeds flirted with bigger things, but the same stubborn minimalism that made them cool also kept them outside the mainstream. Their influence, though, is huge. Punk's primitivism, Psych's mantra vibes, and the idea that 3 minutes of locked-in tension can be more powerful than a dozen chord changes.
You better listen till all we are through. You better stop all your...
Question, when you replay this, do you hear early punk, psychedelic drone, or both fusing into something that still sounds modern? Psychedelic pop that actually went all the way to the top. Green Tambourine is a kaleidoscope in radio form, sitar-like lines, string swells, and a melody that floats while the rhythm gently skips. It's candy-colored, yes, but there's craft under the sugar. The verses are tight, the chorus blooms, and the production sprinkles sparkle without turning the track into fluff.
Drop a dime before I walk away.
The Lemon Pipers got their big #1, then ran headfirst into the industry tug-of-war. The label wanted more bubble-psych, the band wanted to be heavier and more serious. The split in identity, plus the rapid turnover of late 60s trends, pulled them apart soon after.
My music machine. Now listen while I play.
What we're left with is one perfect snapshot of the era when pop and psychedelia held hands and skipped up the charts together. Question, if you could hear this arranged 2 ways, full orchestral psych like the hit versus a raw garage take, which one would live on your personal playlist? Bay Area attitude in black leather. The Chocolate Watch Band took the basic garage blueprint, jangly rhythm guitar, snotty harmonica, fuzz leads, and tightened it until it felt dangerous. Are You Gonna Be There at the Love-In is their calling card. A prowling bass line, a snarling vocal that sounds recorded at midnight, and a beat that pushes without rushing. What makes their story wild is the studio myth. Producer-driven decisions sometimes swapped in outside vocals and session players on releases, which muddied credits and momentum. Still, the band's live reputation was lethal, and the single became a cult flag, popped onto Nuggets adjacent playlists, rediscovered by punk, and treated like a secret handshake among crate diggers. They didn't crack the mainstream in their day, but they helped define the garage psych attitude so many later bands chased. Question, when you hear this, do you feel classic 60s garage or the blueprint for late 70s punk attitude hiding in plain sight?
classic honors and instead.
Mod art project with a power drill. The creation mixed British beat group precision with feedback experiments and literal stage painting. Frontman Kenny Pickett used to spray paint canvases on stage, while guitarist Eddie Phillips famously dragged a violin bow across his guitar strings years before the technique went global. Produced by Shel Talmy, the ears behind early Who and Kinks, Painter Man is a perfect collision of popcraft and sonic mischief, stabbing chords, a vocal that sprints to the hook, and a middle break that wobbles the room. They scored only a modest UK chart moment, found bigger love on the continent, and fractured too soon, but their afterlife is huge. You can hear the creation in every band that treats feedback as color and pop hooks as weapons. Question: would this hit harder for you in a tiny club with paint fumes and feedback, or on a pristine studio remaster where every stab is razor clean? Psychedelic sunshine with a shadow. My friend Jack sounds like a carnival ride. Chiming guitars, marching snare, a melody that smiles even as the lyrics wink at something stronger than sugar. The BBC reportedly balked at the innuendo, radio cooled, and the UK chart run sputtered. Continental Europe, especially Germany, embraced it, and suddenly the Smoke were cult heroes abroad. The track's real magic is balance, bright harmonies over a sly descending riff that keeps the ground moving under your feet. One single, a flurry of noise, and then the moment past, classic 60s story. Yet it refuses to die. Every psych revival finds it again because it's catchy enough for pop fans and strange enough for heads. Question: do you hear this as bubblegum with bite, or a velvet-gloved psych record sneaking subversion onto the radio?
I'm not ready to face the light. I've had too much to drink.
The sound of a guitar hallucinating, a tremolo-soaked intro sways like a ceiling fan melting, the fuzz snaps to attention, and suddenly you're in one of the decade's defining psych singles.
Last night, the roof was in.
The Electric Prunes had the right team around them. Engineer turned producer Dave Hassinger capturing that vertigo with outside songwriters Annette Tucker and Nancy Mance crafting a title and lyric impossible to forget.
I could not bear the image racing through my head.
The arrangement is a small miracle. Bass and drums lock into a heartbeat. The guitars oscillate like they're breathing, and the vocal floats just above the floor. It rose high on US charts, then the run got choppy. Concept albums, shifting lineups, the industry's fast churn. But this single sits eternal on Nuggets, a gateway track that made generations ask, what else sounds like that? Question: is the hook here the lyric, the tremolo dream swirl, or that moment the fuzz arrives like a curtain whipping open? Blue collar swing with a horn punch chorus. Time Won't Let Me is garage soul with ambition, tight rhythm guitar, a bass line that walks with purpose, sharp brass hits, and a vocal built to bring down a gymnasium. It rocketed into the US top 5. The band bagged quick follow-ups, and then, almost as fast, the ladder pulled up. Regional roots, label turbulence, and the tidal wave of late 60s change made staying power tough. But the record itself flawless. The chorus is aerodynamic, the organ glues the groove, and the bridge lifts like a runway light. You hear it once and you're convinced this band should have been arena big. Instead, they're the perfect finale for this list. Undeniable, immortal on oldies radio, yet somehow not a household name. Question, if you were programming a modern rock set, would you kick off with this for immediate liftoff or save it for a mid-show burst when the crowd needs a second wind? The journey doesn't end here, rock warrior. Watch this next.